Hello and welcome to Devon Recovery Learning Community's seasonal crafts course. And this week we're making lavender bags. The lavender should be off your stalks in your pack, but if you just have a few on there, just pick them out, put them to one side, and immediately you've got that lovely smell of lavender, which has been used for centuries as a really calming herb, really helps you unwind. And these lavender bags are going to make a great gift, or you can pop them in your wardrobe. They're a natural way to keep clothes moths at bay, or you can pop them under your pillow. Anyway, so in your pack, you'll have got two bits of material like this, two little bits of sort of thin cotton. You should have plenty of thread left over from your other sewing project, from your cross stitch project. If not, some normal sewing thread will do. Just start in one corner. We're going to go around three sides and leave one side open. And we're going to do what's called a blanket stitch. You want the right sides facing outwards. This stitch is a decorative stitch, and you'll see it on the outside. And we're going to leave the top open so we can put the lavender in. So with blanket stitch, go through the two bits, just what we'd call an over and over stitch, and then as you can see, you just pop, before you've got your loop completely finished, you just put the thread through it, and then it will make a little bar at the top. There we go, done it again. So, and again, we're just going to, there we go, that just tightens that up, and as you can see, it's creating a little decorative edge. Blanket stitch is really useful for the edges of blankets. It's really good for knitting together. Anything that has been knitted instead of woven, it will hold the top off and help it stop running. So this is why they put it around the edge of blankets. Yeah, and it's quite a nice decorative stitch. Try and keep the stitches small and even. My piece has been pinking shirred around the edge, and I think I pinking shirred all of yours. So you can use each little triangle of the pinking shirred edge to be a marker. But if you haven't got pinking shares, just do a little stitch at a regular interval, maybe sort of 1/4 of a centimetre, 1/2 a centimetre, and we just work our way round. And as you can see, it makes a nice little edge. And when you get to the end of your cotton, just go over and over the same spot a couple of times if you need to rethread. So there we are, I've pretty much done one side there, and as you can see, there's a little line going across the top. So now I've got to the top, and I'm going to leave my needle and thread attached. I'm just going to open up my little pocket here, and I'm going to slide in the lavender, taken all the stalks off, well, as much of the stalks, and I've just put it on a bit of paper, folded in half to kind of funnel it in. Now this bit is the little bit that's a bit need an extra set of hands. There we go, starting to go in. Smells lovely. Just help it in. There we go. Oh, right, that's about half full. Pop the rest in. Now the cross stitch you made the other week, you can always use this as one of your two pieces of material, and use that instead of the second piece of fabric. It's the same process. I'll just get those little bits in, and actually the cross stitch canvas give you a nice even markers for your stitches. Now then, you've got a bit of ribbon in your pack as well, so we're just going to fold that in half. Now we've got our nicely stuffed lavender bag, and just pop that in place there. I'm going to do mine in the middle. You could always do it on one edge so it hangs on diagonal, and I'm just going to take a pin, or in this case another needle, and I'm just going to hold that all in place there. And we're just going to continue that last little bit of blanket stitch round the final corner, round that final side. So push it through, and then before we've pulled it tight, we just get that loop. There we go. I'll put some proper instructions of how to do blanket stitch, written instructions, so you'll be able to see it as well. There we go. And then when you get to the bit where your ribbon's being held, just going to go over that a few times just to make sure it's in place. So forget your blanket stitch just for a minute. I'll put one more in there, and then I'm going to do a couple of stitches. You do need a little bit of patience for this bit. There we go. Just a couple of stitches, a couple of over and over stitches just to hold that place. Then we've just got a few stitches more and we can tie that off. We'll have made a lovely little lavender bag. It's really nice to be using the natural materials again. You know, sewing involves some concentration, and that's really good for keeping you focused on one thing. There we go, over and over a few times because we don't want it opening up and all the lavender spilling anywhere. And then snip off that end bit of cotton. Now you could embellish these any ways you want. If you've got buttons and beads at home and other little bits of lace, you can make these quite fancy. You can put an initial on, but this is the simple, straightforward little lavender bag. There we go. So we'll see you in the Zoom, and we'll see how we get on with these, and we'll all smell wonderful. All right, bye-bye.